Hello, I'm Bex with Black Whisper Crafts, and I am coming on to share what I have done for the hashtag Monsters on Vacay, which is an open collaboration hosted by the Crafty Friends in the Attic, which is Alex, Bex, Jessica, Lesley, and Pebbles. All of their channels will be in the description box below. This is a collaboration where we use one of the monsters, which all of these monsters: vampire, witch, bat, pumpkin, cat, mummy, Frankenstein, and the ghost. Every month we upload them on the 13th of the month, and we show them on vacation using the first letter of the monster, which this month is vampire. So I'm going to show where the vampire is going on vacation, and it will start with the letter V. And this vampire's name is Vendetta, which means blood feud. Vendetta came all the way from Transylvania to my hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma in the USA to visit his favorite vintage sewing museum. If you love sewing as much as I do, then you would love this sewing museum. They have lots and lots. I don't know exactly how many sewing machines they have. They only have a few that you cannot touch that are on display, but for the most part, they're all set out. If you want to bring your cloth and something you want to sew, or you want to learn how to sew, you can sit down and they will show you how to sew. There are, I don't know, I think over 170 machines, I think last count when I checked. Over 170 different machines, sewing machines, upholstery machines. They even have a spinning wheel. If you love to sew, then you can walk in there, take your stuff in there. You don't have to own a sewing machine. You can just go in there, bring your thread, bring your sewing, your material, and you can sit down at one of their machines and sew. I learned on a sewing machine from 1974, and I had that sewing machine for about 18 years. And then I bought another sewing machine that was made in 1976, and I used that one for, I don't know, 15 more years. I now have a brand new Brother, which it's okay, but I like the old machines. Everything is real on them, nothing's plastic. That's just my preference. And that is also the vampire Vendetta's favorite. He has a sewing machine, and his machine is so old. If you can imagine, a vampire has a sewing machine that is so old, cannot get parts for it anymore. So when he goes on vacation, he goes to the Vintage Sewing Center and Museum. That is the actual name, the Vintage Sewing Center and Museum, because his hobby is sewing. And he needs to sew some new capes, trousers, vests, and shirts. But as I just told you, his vintage sewing machine is so old, he can't find parts for it. So he comes all the way from Transylvania to Tulsa, Oklahoma in the U.S. so he can sew all of his clothes that he needs. So he will sew all day long. He sews and sews and sews all day long. And here is the Vintage Sewing Center and Museum. It is in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the U.S. And he brought all his bat friends with him. They all just flew over here. And they're going through the gate. I'm going to give you a little bit more of his background before we go on into the Sewing Center and Museum. But where was I at? Okay, so he can't find parts, so he goes here on vacation, and Vendetta sews all day long. because he has so many that he needs to get done. And there's so many machines that he can just keep sewing and keep sewing. But at night he has to go to bed. So he leaves his ghost. Vendetta's ghost will sew all night long while he's asleep until he comes back the next day. So they can sew twice as fast and get things done twice as fast, so that they can try out all the other machines that are there. They love to try out all of the old vintage sewing machines there. They've tried out most of the sewing machines and the upholstery machines, and they've also tried the spinning wheel. So every time they come, they just get them a motel and just make it a day, a week, or whatever, however long it takes to make all of his new clothes. But they thoroughly enjoy themselves. So let me show you. Let me move this out of the way. And this little stamp set is from Lesley's Gifts and Crafts, I believe it is. She's on Etsy. But I will leave the video to the link to Pebbles' channel, her video that she did, and she will tell you all about this whole collaboration, Monsters on Vacay open collaboration. And she gives all the information, and she knows all the things about it. So I will link that below so you can go check that out if you want to participate. But I'm going to go right on into it now. Here's the front of it, the sign, Vintage Sewing Center and Museum. So we're going to go through the gate. See, right there's Vendetta. It's going to fly through the gate. And here we are inside. There's just sewing machines all over the walls, and then there's tables set up with sewing machines. But here he is, right here. And he's getting a really fancy cape sewn, and he's putting the family jewels, the black diamonds, he's sewing them on the inside of his cape. And there's this little ghost that at night keeps on sewing for him. But all of his bat friends, they all came with him, and they're just kind of fluttering around until they go out at night and do what vampires do. But yeah. That is my little take on where Vendetta, the vampire, is going on vacation. He's going to the Vintage Sewing Center and Museum in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the U.S. And there he is, little Vendetta, with his new cape that they're sewing with his family jewels, the black diamonds sewn into the cape, and his little ghost that sews for him at night. They have so much fun. There you go. And this is for the hashtag Monsters on Vacay. It's an open collaboration hosted by Crafty Friends in the Attic, which is Alex, Bex, Jessica, Lesley, and Pebbles. And I will leave the links to their channels below in the description box. I will also leave a video about the Vintage Sewing Center and Museum. I'll leave that link below, and also the Vintage Sewing Center and Museum has a Facebook page. I will put that link below. And let's see. Oh, the bats that I used today are from this punch, this paper punch right there. And it is Stampin' Up. I don't know if they still have it or not, but it's just my favorite bat punch. That's the bat punch I used today. And the gate and the fence, those are both from Temu. And the spooky trees, that was a stamp from Temu. And all of the sewing, these are two different stamp sets. Those are from Temu. But the set that the vampire is from, let me get that picture back out again, because they're so adorable, is this one. And it is from Lesley's Gifts and Crafts. She's on Etsy. And they're so adorable. That's what we're doing this month. And I will also leave the video linked to Pebbles' channel, so you can go and see much more in depth what it's all about the Monsters on Vacay open collaboration. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Bex with Black Whisper Crafts. Have a wonderful day.